Move them in, move them in, move them out, stick them up. Roll high. Yeah, I went back to that old dirty. Yeah, I went back to the return of the 36 chambers. I did that.
Was it the dirty version?
Of course,
The
what?
dirty version?
Dog, come on. Of course it was the dirty version. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dirt dog.
You know what I mean? For those that don't know, back in the day when old dirty bastard, rest in peace to the ODB, you know what I mean? Yo, my man dropped the Return to the 36 Chambers. It was so many versions. If you had to be there, you had to be there for the dirty version. You know what I mean? I forgot the other version he had, but hey
I
man, you
don't know. I
know.
just know he named the album Return of the 36 Chambers the dirty version. Matter of fact, I don't think there was ever a clean version of that album.
Nah, I never, and if so, keep it far away from me. You know what I
I
mean?
don't need that.
No, I don't. Listen, man, this is the Zone Sports Podcast, man. You know what I mean? Yo,
Pew,
man.
pew, pew, pew.
Yes, sir, man. I'm one half of your host, your boy Big V. You see my guy over there, man. Let the people know who you be, my G.
Yo, it's your boy COOL. Always wondering what the hell. After he just saw his athletics get smacked by the New York Yankees last night when we was up 3-2, got smacked last night. But we ain't gonna talk about that. It's your boy Corey. I'm sick of telling the same old tired story about my athlete. I'm getting sick and tired of it, Big V. But also, it's your boy Cool C. Never, ever, ever dated a floozy. For those out there in YouTube land, we got the sign out for you right out back, right there, Big Vito. Bam! It's your boy Corey Big Vito. What's happening?
Man, yo, listen, man. First off, man, yo, let me apologize to the zoners, man. I suppose have been dropped the episode we shot during this tournament. But listen, man, your boy have been so busy. My daughter has moved into a new apartment. I had to help her move. You know what I'm saying?
Air horns on that. Hold on for a second, Big Vito. Pew, 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 pew. You may continue, my brother.
You know what I mean? Then, my little boy, he's starting his tutoring 3 days a week.
All
And
right.
and then this weekend he starts flag football.
Oh,
So I've been trying to help him get acquainted to the game because this is
yeah.
his first organized sports
All
period.
right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So and
Salute.
yeah, and I have been named head coach of said flag football team. You know what I mean? So
The Big Vito.
yes, sir.
You got, let's see, rapper, entrepreneur, producer, husband, devoted dad, head football coach, two men in a truck. Dude, I can't keep up with you, my guy. I can't. I can't, and I won't do it. I ain't gonna do it, Vito.
Yeah, man. Man, just something I decided they needed somebody to fill in,
Cool,
and
bro.
I said, look, man, I do it, yo. You know what I mean? I school the young pups, and
Yeah.
also I got to get acquainted with how the 7-on-7 flag football works
Mm,
myself. So it's
yeah.
all new, man. It is all new. I've been in the studio working on new music. Man, just a lot. Got a producer event coming up.
Yeah.
418, come out and play Volume 1 at the Skyzone.Society headquarters in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm gonna probably put the flyer right here. You know what I mean? Yo,
Damn.
4:30 to 7:30, 418. Come out, catch a vibe. All producers just gonna be playing the tunes. If you're an artist, come out here. You might hear something you like. You might see something that you might want to cop, or you might hear something that you want to cop from said producers. I will be one of the producers. Shout out to my guy Alvo Kid, myself,
Yeah.
my guy Mosaic, and my guy Youngin. Yo, 418. Yo, listen, come through. Free event, might I add. It's free. Come on through, man. Mess with us, man. You know what I mean? Yo, so yeah, man, we back though. We back on point. You know what I mean? I'ma still chop some of that episode up because it was some good topics on there. I want to get y'all feedback on. But yo, man, we are here. We are back. Corey, how you been, man?
Man, yo, we been good. So I was just talking about the athletics. So I switched my internet service provider. We finally got fiber down here. And
Mm.
so they gave us a free year of MLB TVs. I'm like, okay, I
Woo.
ain't been keeping up with my athletics for a minute. I can only name two people on the roster right now. So I get my fix in. We 3-7. We're gonna be last in the AL West again. But it's like, oh, the Yankees game. We're in the middle of a series with your Yankees. And I'm just like, yo, man, y'all got Giancarlo Stanton. Y'all got some pieces over there. And so, in the top of a baseball season, Big V, you're led with a high hope of optimism.
Of
We're
course.
not, those who don't know, we're not in Oakland anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting for our new infield to be built in Vegas. So right now we're in Sacramento, but we're in New York, right? I'm like, yo, let's get this, man. Damn that today's a new day. We up 3-2 all the way in the seventh inning. All the way. I'm like, man, all we got to do is just bring it home, Big V. We got to the top of the eight. And yo, we gave up a ground double
That's
and
right.
another one,
Uh-huh.
and game's over. And so I said to myself, I said, you know what, man, because I ain't been keeping up for a minute. And I said, okay, well, next year, do I want to get the MLB TV package for $150 to see this happen on a night in and night out basis? And I said to myself, hell no, I'm gonna enjoy the hell of it out of this year. We get to the play. My wife was like, you think y'all gonna get to the playoffs this year? I said, honey, nah, it's probably gonna be more of the same. That's how I've been, Vito. But I rap, but that's all I got. Enough of my doom and gloom, Big V. How the hell have you been doing, man? Tell me your sports team been doing a lot better than mine.
Well, let's see. Carolina got booted out, as we already know, from the March Madness tournament. Let me see. Luca's out for the regular season. Oh, and by the way, so is Reeves. So,
That's right.
I can say that nah, ain't nothing, and don't even get me started on Yankees because we do this shit every year where
Yeah,
we don't do shit,
yeah,
nothing. Start out bats are swinging and hot. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Then there'd be a little bit of turmoil, and Judge is threatening to leave, and it's same old, same old.
Yeah.
Same old, man. Ain't nothing new, man. But man, listen, what what a March Madness, man. What a March Madness, yo. We got to start off the show, of course, with talking about the championship game this past Monday. Michigan against UConn, you know what I mean? For the big joint. You know what I mean? For the big joint, the one and only NCAA champion. You know what I mean? Listen. What a good game. I feel like it was a good game, but Corey, watching this game, I feel like that it was more far apart than what my eyes were seeing. I
Yeah.
feel like that Michigan just came out ready to dominate from the jump, and I watched this game, Corey, play by play, because it's the championship. I can't turn them. I have to see it through so we can come on here and talk about it. Dog, I don't know if it was the tenacity. You know what? I do know because I watched it. It was the tenacity on the defensive end on the floor for Michigan, dog. I'm talking about walk down blocks. I'm talking about steals. Cadeau talking his ish. You know what I
Man,
mean? Dog, I'm talking about cats out there on their last leg.
literally.
Literally out there on their last leg, Corey. You know what I mean? And out there for that chip. You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
that chip, dog. And if I was a betting man, though, I could see how I might would have been swayed to go UConn given their historic March Madness run. What a run again by Hurley and the UConn
Yeah.
Huskies, dog.
Yeah.
What a run! I'm talking about from top to bottom. The highlight, of course, for me was them putting Duke out in such fantastic fashion. I love the fact that we are part of one of the teams that killed them in such a fantastic fashion and dramatic fashion during the regular season. Then they got put out again in such dramatic and fantastic fashion by the UConn Huskies. Man, what a game! What a game that was, though. Um, yeah, man. I could see why somebody would have took UConn, but man, Michigan came out there, dog. Again, dominated on defense. Uh, played. Decent on offense too. But I think the defense is really what stood out to me, Corey. I mean, these guys was going damn near man to man the whole game. I mean, the zone was looking like man to man. And man, might I add, I loved it when my guy Raftery had to come up there. He's moving the puppies. Come on,
Made me want to vomit.
Listen, I never see somebody who hates Bill Raftery more than Corey. I don't understand it. He's a national treasure. Protect Bill Raftery at all costs. United States of America. Yes, I love it when the game tips off. He said they might go a little man. Girl, I love it. Corey.
Yeah, that drove me insane, by the way. I wanted to put the TV on mute, find a radio broadcast, but it was too far behind the actual play, so I couldn't do that. You're pissing me off. Yeah, 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 ridiculous. You know what? I need to find a Rottweiler and stick it on him. How about that? Put my man in the early retirement. How about that? That's where I'm at with it, Vito. The catchphrase is just so generic. The puppy. He ain't a puppy. He ain't a paint. What the hell is that? It's ridiculous. You know? Like, come on, man. That's it's ridiculous,
Oh my
man.
goodness, man.
Bill Raftery.
Oh my God. Corey, the floor is yours, man. I have nothing else to say about the championship game.
Outside of Bill Raftery, I thought the whole tournament collectively was great. Like collectively, you had your buzzer beat and everything in between. Of course, you're going to have some blowouts here and there. Man, I was extremely impressed with my man from Michigan, Yaxel Lindenborg.
Oh man, what a guy! What a guy! What a story too, I might add. His story is great.
Played on a sprained MCL.
Uh-huh.
And I knew he was going to play.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know how much he was going to play. He played for 36 minutes.
Corey, he gave us 13, 2 and assist, Corey. He came out and gave him 13 on half a leg.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And you may look at like people listening to this, they may go through the stats, but that's not that impressive. Dog, he is on, like you just said, Vito, this man is on one leg. No. And you got to understand, he's the best player on that team.
Uh-huh.
Like, I get that our former Tar Heel, Elliot Cadeau, won the most outstanding play. And look, that Elliot Cadeau was all over the place. I mean, he was running around like daggone Ty Lawson from our beloved Tar Heels all over the place. I mean, every time you saw Elliot Cadeau, he's jumping up, he's landing on the floor, he's landing on people landing on him. And I'm just like, yo, this dude is going to mess around and kill himself.
Yeah.
If the game doesn't hurry up and end. Yeah. Man, look, they deserve it. I picked UConn to win. Like in my bracket, I actually picked this actual matchup. And my Final Four wasn't perfect, but I did have UConn and Michigan. I had UConn winning. I just thought, but what's my man name from UConn? Solo Ball. He got in early foul trouble, and I was like, whoa, that's a bit of a problem. Like I want to say he picked up like maybe 2 fouls in the first couple of minutes of the game. I'm like, oh man, and then it's kind of like they was playing. Again, UConn was playing against a jungle of a team in regards of height, defensive tenacity.
Oh my God!
Any time that UConn attempted to go into the paint, as the great Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. I mean, they couldn't get any penetration balls in the paint at all.
At all.
I mean, they'll play like it seems like Michigan players was like 14'3".
Corey, the zone was looking like man to man.
And you know what, Big V? Now I have to go back and rewatch it. I almost felt like they played man to man the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
It felt like that, right? I ain't saying if it did or it didn't, but it felt that way. And normally for newcomers to the game and stuff like that, you really don't play man-to-man like that unless you have the personnel that can match up with it. All man-to-man is basically saying, my guy is better than your guy. My guys are going to stop your guy. That's it. You normally got to get clever and tricky with zone because a lot of times you're going to have a fair amount of mismatches. Yeah. Well, this was a mismatch, except that it was all against UConn coming from Michigan. And you're right. The score is 69-63. It is not really indicative of the game flow. I want to say UConn only had the lead for a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't that great. It wasn't in the second half at all. The better team won. And hey, man, salute to Michigan. Salute to Michigan, man. Like they took this championship. They took it.
Corey, I gotta say, man, and I want to ask you before I give my answer. Where do you rank this year's March Madness? It has to be.
It's
It's up there. It's
it's
up
up
there.
there. It's up there, man. Like it's up there with one up because you have had like I felt like last year was a bit of a dud in regards of like just overall like again you didn't have a lot of the buzzer beaters like you had like you did not have last year. You had a lot of those this year. I mean it was just great. I would. It's up there,
It's
Big
up
Vito.
there. It's up there.
It's up there. Like it's in my top memorable years. Like I'm going to
I agree.
remember this for a long time for drama, action, buzzer beaters. Like everything was there. What say you?
It's up there for me too. I mean, we saw High Point put out Wisconsin.
There you
How,
go. There
dog,
you go.
do I even need to even state any more further than that? That was, and we talking about these are first round games, Corey.
First round, Big Vito. I mean, it's kind of putting me in the mind frame of I want to say was it either the '08 year where George Mason made it to the Final Four. This is kind of making it reminiscent of VCU having their good run, even though you didn't have the true quote unquote Cinderella up there. It
Yeah.
was still exciting to watch, and of course NIL kind of changes a lot of that. But as far as excitement, the fact that I can remember those from 15, 20 years ago, this is going to be another memorable one that I'm going to put in that slide.
What is your favorite March Madness? I have mine. I know what mine is for sure.
I hate to say this outside of the years that Tar Heel, but you just talking about excitement from top to bottom.
Yes.
I will regrettably say 1992 with the Christian Leitner.
Me too. Same. Same.
Regrettable.
Same.
But excitement, taking my fandom out of it, that
What
1992 year, Big Vito,
top,
with that,
top tier?
that's up there. That's up there. That inbound from what was it, Grant Hill, the
yes.
Christian Leitner dog.
Man.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. That's the one
That's
for
the
me
one.
too.
And the zoners, keep in mind, me and Vito are Tar Heel fans, but we got to give it up from an entertainment standpoint. Man, that 1992, dude.
Yeah,
that's the one.
For me too, I would say, I think number two for me may be, the year that Chris Webber called the timeout.
Oh yeah, when we won, yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with my Tar Heel fans and the zoners. That was the only time in my life I ever rooted against the Tar Heels. I was a Fab Five fan from the jump. I always loved Michigan football and basketball. To this day, I still love both. You know what I mean? So this was a semi victory for me, seeing Michigan win it. But that year of the Fab Five, man, dog, I cried. I cried when they lost. Like I wanted to be Chris Webber, bro. I did.
It's interesting you bring that up because those Fab 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, they met us in the championship game, and then they also met Duke. I want to say it was in the championship game. So they lost to Carolina and Duke. But you're right. Like, of course, I never root against the Tar Heels, at least in basketball. The only time I root against the Tar Heels is in football when they played my ECU Pirates. It's like the only time, or whatever. But man, I was happy that we won in '93. But to say that I did not feel bad for Chris Webber. I'm so glad social media wasn't out back then. You really felt for that guy because you're right. Had I not already been rooting for the Tar Heels, I probably would have been a Michigan basketball fan just off the strength of the Fab Five. Just like if it wasn't for ECU or the Tar Heels, I probably would have been a Miami Hurricanes college football fan with what they had going on in the early 2000s with Frank Gore and Ray Lewis and all those guys like that. The swag university like that.
Yeah.
That stuff, I gravitate to that, and I gravitate a lot to history. And the fact that Michigan, if I'm not mistaken, was the first university that had all starting five. And how the seniors took a back seat. They had an alt-cast the other day, Big V. I don't know
Yeah,
if you caught that or not.
I
That
didn't.
was they had the whole Fab Five
I
up
heard
there.
about it. Yeah,
Man, it was just great. Like I was into the game, but I was into this listening to those brothers speak, man. So I don't knock you for that. I don't at all. I wouldn't.
man. Yes, man. What a time to be alive. We still gonna keep it on, of course, March of Madness, but we got to jump to the women's, Corey, because the women's tournament was awesome too. You know
Yes,
what
it
I
was.
mean? It hurt my heart to see LSU get put out.
Yeah,
I had LSU, of course, winning the chip for me because I love Flau'jae and Coach
yeah,
Mulkey and that whole how they run things in their organization. I love that, man, and it hurt my heart to see them get beat by a buzzer beater too. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Some great
Um,
storylines in the women's tournament as well.
oh yeah, great storyline. Man, you know, we had the game though before the championship that everybody was talking about a little bit more than a championship. South Carolina versus the UConn women Huskies, and of course Don Staley and those women went on to beat your boy Geno and the women Huskies. But
Yeah,
Corey, it was some smoke. You know what I mean? We're gonna get
yeah,
into it because here it is, man. Um, if you don't know, zoners out there, after the game, Gino, the head coach of the women Huskies, had a few choice words for Dawn Staley because he's saying that before the game, he waited for her a few minutes to shake hands like he traditionally does with every single coach that he has come in contact with during his career. Keep in mind, Miss Dawn Staley went and spoke to him and the whole organization, staff, and record label and crew, as Corey would say, pregame. But he wanted them to shake hands again after the starting lineup had been called out, so to speak. So after the game, he had some words for her, and that kind of took away from um the real reason that they lost was basically because they really couldn't even fuck with the South Carolina Gamecock. That's just what it was. Storylines was made up. He was talking about my player getting fouled. Look at her jersey rip, and she ripped the jersey herself. The evidence showed her ripping the jersey herself. So
yeah.
it was a lot of just pettiness for me, Corey. And I ain't gonna lie, Corey, I didn't like this on Gino. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I think that and again, look, I'm not a coach, and I don't know how things go over the 30 years that he's been coaching at UConn. If coaches come out and shake hands again after the pregame handshake that they did, okay, so be it. But after the loss, you just look like you're very sour addressing that in that situation and time. Um, if it's me, I'm gonna just let it go because I don't want to look petty in front of the world. Let alone I don't want to. I don't want to set example for my girls. And again, I think the frustration was just them getting smoked, and he tried to he misplaced his anger upon the handshake because Corey and you know Gino, you look stupid. You know what I mean? You look stupid. Now rumors are floating around how you're really an asshole behind closed doors. And let me tell you something, man. I don't like claws of assholes. Like, as an asshole myself, I tell people around me that sometimes I'm an asshole, but just let me know when I ain't being an asshole so I can self check myself and dumb it down and issue an apology. I don't like claws of asshole. Let it be known that that's what you are so people know how to carry it with you. You know what I mean? I don't like people like him and I hear stories about Ellen, you know what I mean, the things that she does behind closed doors business. No, I don't like none of that. No, be the asshole that you are and let people carry it how they need to when they're in when they come into contact with you. That's what I like. So I don't like this on Gino. It looks bad. You know you you had a great season, And part of having a great season and being the champion that you are is knowing how to lose sometimes. You know what I mean? Hurley has won championships. You don't see Hurley acting a fool or taking away the fact that that they just got smashed. Closer than what the score appears. You know what I mean? You don't see him acting out. Hey man, we'll get him next time. That's just how it's supposed to go. But he just made this thing, and it just looked petty. It looked weak, and sometimes it looks even bad when you are a man to doing this to another lady. Like if it was another guy, it looks the optics look better. But yo, you a representative of boosters, people that's going to be coming to you NIL wise, recruits. Like yo, come and then you're coaching women, you're coaching girls. It look bad, Corey. What are your opinions on this, man?
I'm going to echo everything you said. He had like a little boy, and I'm extremely surprised because really up to this, you never really heard anything really crazy about Geno at all. Like,
well, they said Pat Summit used to say. Yeah, I'm hearing that now,
and I didn't know that. So I didn't know that till a few days ago. And I want to talk about optics. Like, dude, you a 12-time national champion.
And by the way, Corey, real quick, he used to coach Dawn, right?
I don't remember if he did or didn't. I don't want to lie about that. Maybe I could look that up.
Okay.
But you brought up a real good point, and I get it. We're definitely in a land of equality and stuff like that. Like I feel like women should get paid just as much as men. I believe women can do everything men do and all that stuff. However, that still don't mean that if we're in a heat of battle that I get to talk to you a certain way, the way that I would talk to a male. That may be sexist. I apologize to anyone who I just offended. I am not going to come after a woman the same way I would come after a man, whether that's verbally, physically, forget about it. Like we're not even going there, right? And so you got Geno, who's 6'1", 6'2", 200 and something pounds, right? Going at Don Staley, who's like 5'6", a buck something, right? And you recap this. I ain't gonna keep going over and over, but dog, she shook your hand in the pregame, right? And just like you, Big V, I'm not a coach. I don't know what the protocol is. I have yet today to hear anyone come out in defense of Geno, because there's a part of me that's like, okay, well, like you said, let it be known then, stand 10 toes down. But then he issues a halfway apology.
It was awful. I'm glad you brought that apology. Was awful, Corey. It was awful.
And look, he just issued another one yesterday. This time mentioning Don Staley. This time, let me read it real quick. I know.
Please do, because I wasn't aware of that one, Corey. Please do.
I wasn't aware to it so a few minutes before. All right, statement from head coach Geno Auriemma here. All right. So basically, this morning, Dawn Staley and I spoke about our interaction after the game. I apologize to Dawn herself, her staff, and her team. I've lost more games in the Final Four than any other coach in history. But Friday, I lost something more important, myself. Those who know me know I have nothing but respect and admiration for the game and the coaches who coach it. Dawn and her team deserve to win, and they deserve better than that from me. Women basketball deserves better. My university, my athletes, my former players, and our fans deserve better. Dawn and I have agreed to move on, and we hope the focus will shift back to the growth in women's basketball because the game deserves it. That came out yesterday or whatnot. Now, I want to talk about something real quick. It's called Black Twitter. And I want to also talk about the backbone of your program, Mr. Geno, and really anybody else outside of Iowa in women's college basketball. They're called Black women. You may have heard of them. And so I would wonder, I'm going to go through some of the greats real quick, Big Vito, because I would love to talk about the Black women and the women of color and the greats who played for UConn over the years since the dynasty started.
Okay.
I would love to know Diana Taurasi's thought about this. I would love to know Maya Moore's thought about that, right? I would love to know Rebecca Lobo's deal on this. I would love to know Swing Cash, Sue Bird, Tina Charles. More recently, I would love to know how Naphesia Collier feels about this. These are all black women or women of color. And the thing is, Big V, when you start talking about optics, you got a tall, empowering white man going over to a black woman and having this issue. And look, if you just say person A, person B, no big deal. You brought up Pat Summitt. Look, again, I just started watching women college basketball during the pandemic in 2020. But I'm telling you, even then, you still got the male versus woman dynamic. But dog, when you have the white man on a black woman dynamic, that's going to shift it a little bit different. Much respect and RIP to Pat Summitt. Yeah. Are they the same? It's similar, but it ain't 100,000% the same. And I'm telling you this, I listen to the Breakfast Club in the morning. They're off this week. And Charlamagne the God is a Gamecock fan. He's from South Carolina.
South Carolina, yep.
I would imagine that had they been on this Monday, he would have had the dunk. And so if you wasn't already getting destroyed by Black Twitter, it would have happened on Monday. He had to do this. He had to do this. It is a strike against him in my book. Again, I haven't heard anything else prior. Does he get a benefit of the doubt moving forward? Maybe. But again, I think the pressure from Black Twitter in particular and everything else, I don't know how much of the pie that I would give Black Twitter towards this or not. I would give it a good 40%, 45%. And then, like you said, Big Vito, you got boosters, you got the AD. Yeah. And I told, like I was telling my wife, I said, well, look, if this was Corey, let's say if she wanted to be a college player, knowing what you just saw, would you feel comfortable sending her out there to be coached by that guy?
That's a good point.
There you go.
That's a good point. And the fact that it took you 2 fucking apologies to just say her name, it's nasty. I don't like it. I don't like it. No.
But we're ready to move on. Well, you know what? I'm gonna move on when I'm ready. I ain't ready yet. I know what Coach Staley says, and respect to her, I'm going to hold on to this one for a bit. And I think they play each other in the regular season next this upcoming season. So I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, we're going to check and see if it be 2 handshakes this time. You know what I mean?
Because outside of him wanting to take her out on a date, I don't know how many handshakes we need to have.
I don't either. I don't know. I don't know, man. Look, man, still keep it in college. Our beloved North Carolina Tar Heels have found a head coach, and Mike Malone, former Denver Nugget championship winning head coach, Corey. Look, we got a little bit of time, so I'm going to keep this brief, Corey. I saw the news about it. I like it. I'm not going to lie, Corey. I like it. I like it. I thought we would get, I ain't going to lie. I kind of thought that we would give it to somebody that was already on the bench. Sean May, what's my other guy? He played guard. Page. I think Marcus Page.
Yeah, Marcus Page over there.
Yeah. I didn't know if they was going to hand it to somebody of an alum. Because as far as I know, Mike Malone only ties to North Carolina at this point. Prior to him getting hired, is his daughter plays on the volleyball team there. You know what I mean? And I think, he might have spoke to the team a couple of times, things like that. But I like it, man. I'm glad we didn't go out and get, a Bill Self or anybody like that. I'm glad that we got somebody that's outside of college and that has, ties to the NBA. I think this is a good look, man. I really do. I think that this may give us a swing as far as recruiting, NIL, things like that. I'm looking forward to this, yo. What are your thoughts on this?
When I first heard it, I was like, I ain't even know. Vito ain't even know he was in the running.
That's the thing. I didn't either. So when I heard the name, I had it all came back to me because I remember us being baffled on this podcast about when he got fired. Like, yo, you fired Mike Malone, dog? That was crazy.
Before the playoffs, a couple of weeks before the playoffs.
That was crazy.
Right. I thought he caught a raw deal in Denver. And I'm still kind of 50-50 on it now because this is what I'm not concerned with his basketball acumen. He got all that. He's an NBA champion. You're not going to take that away from him. He coaches grown men or whatnot. My concern is going to be his temperament and how he's able to adjust that. Because I feel like the Tar Heels do need a fresh perspective. I'm not necessarily upset that they went outside the Carolina tree for this. Speaking of women college basketball, I can't remember her name, but the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, she basically came out in the press conference a couple of weeks ago during March Madness or before the tournament started, said, well, I felt like our entire team quit. Nobody wants to be here, blah, blah, blah. Very blunt. Kind of
It
like
did.
how kind of like how JJ Redick was with our Lakers last night.
Yeah. Oh
Whatever.
man. Oh
It's
man.
a whole nother story, right? But here's the deal. I don't disagree with JJ Redick. I don't disagree with the head coach from the Tennessee Volunteers on the women's side. But you know what happened, Big V? Everyone from Tennessee, with the exception of one, has hit the transfer portal. Every last one of them. They up out of there. See, here's the thing, Big Vito. They ain't no contract, like, and because there ain't no contracts over here in at least bonding contracts where you have to stay for a team a set amount of years. They got contracts, but it's whatever you want it to be. Dude, they could dip. They could dip. Like and that's my thing. I want to see how that is going to mesh because I do agree. College is pro sports. I don't care. It's a pro sport that has a school attached to it now, right? And until better guardrails get put in place for the NIL, I don't think you're going to be able to do what you did in Denver in college because you're dealing with 17, 18 to 20. Well, I don't know. The NIL pool, you got people standing a whole lot longer. You might be dealing with some 24 and 25-year-olds now. But am I mad at the pick or at the hire? No, I'm not going to go that far either. But I do want to see how things go, especially in January when you really start to get in the conference play and things of that nature there. But look, he could coach, man. Like he could coach. That's never going to be the issue. I just want to see how that personality is going to mesh with the players.
I feel like we need some of that Tom Izzo-ish type of vibe out there. I do. And again, these guys are soft though. Pause. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You say one little wrong thing and I'm a girl.
Transfer.
I'm a hit the transfer
Crazy,
portal.
right?
It's crazy.
Ridiculous though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, man. It's the good and the bad. The good and the bad, man. Real quick before we get up out of here, how impressed are you with the 81 points by? Pardon me, not 81, 83 points, right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? By Bam Adebayo. How
I,
impressed are
I love it. I love it.
you?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, look, listen. These are still, and I get it. The Washington, what's for all practical purposes, playing G Leaguers and stuff like that. But my comeback is this for anybody got anything to say about the Bam deal. Well, last time I checked, Washington played more teams than just Miami. Why didn't your guy do it? It's impressive to me, Vito.
83 points, 83 points. I don't like the fact that the Wizards basically was giving him the points. I don't like that at all. I don't have it. I still have Kobe's 81 more impressive than this. Just because of the fact they was really trying to stop him. I mean, these guys was doing everything but laying down, Corey, and just making a lane for him. I don't like I don't like it, Corey. But hey, look, I'm not hating on 83 is 83. It's still hard to do.
Yeah.
You get it how you get it. I would have did the same thing. Salute, Bam.
And I got a little bias towards Bam anyway. He's a 252 guy, so
For sure, for sure, for sure.
I'm going to salute.
For sure, man. Listen, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tapping in. Or however you catching the clips or watching the whole episode. We appreciate you so much. Corey and I appreciate you each and every time, man. And guess what, man? If you new to here, let me show you how we end this thing, man. Peace.